Okay. You're a burglar, but you only steal things to slightly inconvenience your victims. What are you stealing?
I would steal every measuring cup but the 1/3 one.
The one that nobody ever needs.
Yeah. You use it for one recipe.
What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to JG's Lounge. I'm your host, Jukebox, back with another episode of Stardom. And man, do we have a hell of a show today. I got a new guest with us today, Mike Morse. Man, how you doing?
Doing good. I don't know if you can hear, but obviously our town is under attack here.
I can't hear it.
Oh, okay. I think there's the fire alarm going off somewhere in town. But as long as you can't hear it and it's not my apartment on fire, we're good.
No, I cannot. Yeah. So we're good. You know, it's funny. I did a show once, and my Wi-Fi was terrible. So, good morning, Stormy. How you doing? And I used my neighbor's house, and they were working on the flooring. And the whole episode, you just hear banging and stripping. Oh, dude, it was terrible.
Well, the show we do, the BS show, we do several podcasts with Shuli and Bob Levy, and the one is at 11 in the morning. And last year, once a week, the landscapers would come to this complex and to work, and it was always at 11 o'clock, and they always worked for an hour. So the whole time I hear, and it got to be a joke. So it's like I had to keep muting because it was distracting. Yes. And so this, now that it's spring, this week it started again. This on Tuesday, it was like great.
Is your apartment like a ground level too?
No, but it's only a four apartment little complex here, and the walls are really thin, and so that you can hear everything outside.
That's good. That's hilarious. I live in the city, but I consider myself like I almost have a farmstead of animals in my house.
Yeah, right.
So we've got like 3 cats, 4 dogs.
Oh wow!
I mean, lizard.
Right.
A little bit of everything that you could have in a city townhouse. Right. And sometimes, man, the reason why I do it so early in the morning is because they're either asleep or at school.
Right. Well, if your dogs are at school, you have very smart animals out there.
My last sentence says that other guy.
I'm the other guy.
Yep, you're the other guy today, man. I'm sorry.
Well, that's what they call me at the BS show, because it was Bob and Shuli for a while, and then they had me come in, and people were going, "Who's the other guy? Who's the other?" So then call me the other guy.
It works.
Yeah.
It works. It's funny because Jukebox Ginger actually started as sort of a joke, but when I realized that this is something I wanted to do, and people were recognizing me by that name, I was like, I'm just going to stick with it. So
yeah, you go with what works. Yeah. Do you think Larry the Cable Guy wanted to be Larry the Cable Guy for the rest of his life? No.
I highly doubt it.
Right. Yeah. You think Gallagher wanted to smash watermelons every night? No.
I heard that he's an interesting fellow.
Oh, he's passed away. But I talked to him once on the phone, and he was a fucking. Can I say fucking?
Yeah, you can say whatever you want on here.
Yes. Yeah. He was very interesting. I know people who knew him, and they agree that he was crazy.
Yeah, and doesn't his brother kind of still do that?
I opened 100 years ago. I opened for Gallagher the sequel. How his brother billed it, and his brother looked just like him, had the mustache, the long hair, the cap, and did Gallagher's act. He might still be doing it. I don't know.
Yeah, probably. I would assume he probably is. I don't know.
Do you think Gallagher's brother wanted to be Gallagher? No, but it made him money.
It makes him money. That's what matters. Bob Levy. I mean,
do you think Bob Levy wants to be Bob Levy? No. So Mike, he's eating blue cheese out of women's asses. So I'm sure that's not something he woke up every morning and go, I can't wait to do that.
Yeah, and how the fact that actually gave him fame is hilarious to me.
Yeah. It was he was out of control there for a while. He was just he was a partier, and so he didn't. When he got on stage, he was already loaded out of his mind, and I guess it just happened one night where I don't even remember how it progressed, but then everybody's like expecting to see it every show. So
right.
So Mike, it's a chick's ass. So.
I'm sure some of the guys on here are watching or will be watching don't know who you are. So why don't you kind of tell everybody
Probably
a little bit about
nobody
you?
knows who I am. That's like you're being very kind.
So what do you do, man? Tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a comedian. I've been a comedian for over 30 years, and comedy writer, written for a lot of people, a lot of roasts and whatnot. And now I do a podcast with the lovely Reverend Bob Levy and Shuli from the Howard Stern Show, and we do several podcasts: the Uncle Rico Show, the BS Show, the Blender Years Show, the Miserable Men Show. So we're busy.
You got time, man. You got time to do that stuff. I don't.
It's making time for it. That's the hard part.
Yeah. Did you see yourself getting into radio or podcasting? Like, is that something you expected?
No, not really. I started doing comedy because I wanted to write comedy, and it was a good way to get into that field. And then I kind of hooked up with the guys from the Stern Show, and that when they started the Miserable Men Show on Sirius Radio on Stern's second channel there, they asked me to join them, and eventually became a one of the co-hosts, and we did that for 5 years, and that was great. And that was really the first time I'd ever done any real radio type stuff, except for interviews for comedy shows and stuff.
Yeah. And I started doing this when COVID hit,
Mhm.
because I'm a very social person, but I was like, man, I should probably figure out something to do, and I didn't know anything about podcasts.
Mm.
And I realized you could literally download an app, record it, and then distribute it on platforms. And I was like, I'm going to give it a shot. So I did a couple solo skits, and I showed it to my friends. They're like, this isn't really that great. And I said, okay, well, at least you're honest. That's cool. So I
Right.
reached out on Facebook. I said, hey, is anybody interested in doing a show with me? And as soon as I had guests on, man, it just clicked. It just,
Mhm.
I loved it. It made a huge difference.
Right. Yeah. The people did a lot of stuff during the lockdown that they never would have thought of doing, which was a positive part of that whole experience.
Right. So for today, I actually picked a topic that I think we could both kind of relate to. When you go shopping, do you read products before, or you just grab and go?
The ingredients?
No, just like, do you pick up a box and say, "Oh, this is," and then actually read it, or
Well,
do you just grab
I
what
like
you
to
need
see
and
what
go?
it is. It's like I'm gonna take a thing of rat poison. Oh, I'll try this in my soup. I will know what the product actually is. Oh wow, tampons, great. Yeah, I'm not gonna take stuff I don't need.
See, for me, it's like, if my wife goes to the store, she comes back with shit we don't need. With me,
Right.
I got like a list, and I'm like, okay, I'm going, I grab what I need, and I go. Unless something grabs my attention. So for today, I found some products that aren't real, but if they were, it'd be pretty interesting. And I'm curious to get your responses on it. How's
Okay.
that sound?
That sounds perfect.
All right. First up, we got Toe Tunes slipper speakers, the ultimate toe jam.
Yeah, while you're dancing. So yes, especially if you're short, because then the music's not too far away from you. If you're,
Yeah.
if
I was thinking more along the lines of, you get a flash mob together, you buy a bunch of these, and then you just air the BS show and have them walk down the street.
there you go. Yeah, free advertising. Yeah, I like that.
For me, what tunes would you play if you were to wear slippers that had music playing? What would you play?
I would play. Let's see. I like classic rock. That's my, I'm an old guy, and that's what I grew up on. And
Yeah.
so I'd be playing that, and I don't know, Footloose. I probably and
That would work.
you know,
I was thinking something along the lines of this.
Okay, there you go. Walking on sunshine. I know. ZZ Top. She's got legs. It would be good.
That'd be a good one. Good way to go.
Yeah.
I don't really wear a lot of toe slippers, to be honest. My wife buys them for me, and I told you I got a lot of dogs, so they typically get chewed up before I have a chance to really break them in.
What kind of dogs are they?
I have a imported German Shepherd. So it doesn't look like your typical American Shepherd. So it doesn't.
Does it speak German? Is that why it's
Actually, it is trained
in
German.
German?
Yeah, it wasn't very cheap. Let's put it that way.
Right.
But it's like all black with like a dark brown undertone, so it doesn't look
Okay.
like your typical shepherd that you see every day. I got a couple
Looks
little
like
wiener
something to
dogs.
be guarding Damien.
Yes. It's actually a funny fact is that the dad of this dog is a Chicago PD
No.
dog. So
Dog.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, they're I don't know. Anyways, and then I got a couple wiener dogs. They're a pain in the ass,
Right.
and I got a little mutt terrier mix. And I mean, you can't pet this thing without it just. I mean, there's no way to pet it and it be comfortable. It's just the texture of its hair and everything. My wife found it, and I'm like, "Why did you bring this thing home?"
She brings food she doesn't need home. She brings dogs you don't need
Yes.
home.
She actually found it at the grocery store
there you go.
in the parking lot and brought
That's
it home.
funny. Do you allow your wife to go anywhere except this grocery store? Because right now it sounds like that's the only place she goes.
She doesn't like to drive.
Okay.
So, besides down the street, it's usually me driving.
Right.
How about you? Got any pets?
No, this apartment does not allow pets. When I was married and had a house, we did have pets. Had a yellow lab and a chihuahua and cats, and we had a goldfish that lived 10 years that we won at a carnival.
What the hell?
My son won it at a carnival, and just in the bag. You can bring it home and you put it in a little. Not even aquarium, just one of those little bowls, and you figure, all right, that's good for 2 weeks. Lasted, then we just kept getting bigger and bigger, had to get bigger and bigger. So the thing was like this big by the time it died.
I know that I've heard that goldfish, like if people dump them in ponds and stuff, they actually
Mhm.
grow to the size of their environment.
Right. Yeah. This was just one of those little tiny ones you get in the bag, and it was, I mean, the body was probably about like that big when it died.
That's surprising.
Yeah.
We
It's
also
a pain
have
in the ass. You figure that, that's like a disposable pet. You're like, all right, yeah, that'll be good for 2 weeks. And it's like, we got to buy a fucking aquarium tank. And,
well, we also have these. I told you we got a lot of damn animals. We have 3 sulcata tortoises.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Those ones that get like this, huge,
Right.
and they live like 200 and something years. So you got to put them in your will. God damn. Again, I don't know how we end up with them. I know who does it, but I don't know why we end up with them.
Well, now you know what your great grandchildren will have as a pet,
Right. We did have 7 ferrets at one point.
Wow. And is
That
that
was
along with the dogs and the
Yes.
Wow.
God,
You should just charge tickets like in a little zoo there, a little Kansas City zoo.
little $5 entry fee. Just come on and look.
Yeah.
Just sit on the couch. They'll come to you. It's fine.
Right. Little petting zoo. Jukebox petting zoo.
We went to Branson, Missouri, and we visited a petting zoo there, and
Mhm.
we were in this little dingo pen. You know what dingoes are? Those little Australian dogs.
They eat babies.
Yeah. We were sitting there petting them, and I had one up next to me, and it was
Mhm.
eating the key fob on my to my car. And
Right.
again, we're out of town,
Yeah.
and they literally just disassembled it, and I didn't even hear it.
Wow. That's
That was a fun day, man. I got it back together, but still.
How is Branson? I've never been there. I've heard legendary stories.
It's a very family friendly place, but it's a lot of fun. It's like if you wanted to go to Vegas without the gambling and
Well, then
strippers.
why? Yeah. It's like I like to go to a bar, but without the alcohol.
Yeah.
That would be perfect.
That's basically what Branson is. This
okay.
is exactly what it is. I mean, you can go to a store and buy some liquor, but there's really not a lot of bars. The landing's real pretty down by the river.
Mhm.
A lot of go-kart. It's definitely a family-friendly town.
Interesting.
That's about all I can say about it.
Yeah.
All right, you ready for the next one?
Sure.
All right. Urinal, a portable, eco-friendly urinal.
Yeah, you know what? That's a good thing about being a guy. You really can piss anywhere. You don't need that.
I was gonna say you really don't need the urinal.
No. Yeah. No, it's like, hey, there's some bushes over there. Look, there's an alley there. Which take your choice.
The only thing this is doing is advertising that you do it.
Right. Yes, I pee a lot. Thank you.
Got a bladder issue. It's all good.
I was like, I know they sell the for women. I don't know if you ever saw. It's like a little funnel, but it's shaped like this way, and the woman puts it up against her, and it goes through the funnel, and she can stand up. She can pee while standing up.
That's good. That is clever.
I don't know how
Oh,
effective
man.
it is, but I've seen them sold.
Oh, there's a lot of stupid shit that people buy that, and I'm just like, why?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hey, welcome to America, right?
Oh, right. Well, Stormy said we.
Shiwi. Okay. That's it. Yeah.
It's a
Like
good name.
George
That
Carlin
works.
said, if somebody nails two things together that have never been nailed together before, some schmuck will buy it. That's what he, so,
Right.
yeah. I was always looking for the next new thing.
Yeah, and I've talked about this on the show. It's the stupid shit that we buy here in America is probably why the cost of living is going up. They see all the shit we buy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it's funny because the hot, every Christmas there's a hot toy, and parents are beating the crap out of each other to try to get the limited amount that they have in the stores. And then like 2 years later, you'll see them in Goodwill stores, like all the Tickle Me Elmos are like, so it's like something that was so important is now garbage.
Right. All right, man. It's the craziest story I have about having to pee is I remember I was driving. I was going out of town, and I made it to a gas station. Well, close to a gas station before I got pulled over for speeding. And I almost told the cop to write me a ticket because I was about to just step outside and take a piss in front of him because he was taking a sweet time too, but I had to go.
Well, it might work if you tell him, listen, dude, the reason I was speeding is I gotta pee. Everybody's been there, so if he's a cool guy, he was like, all right, at least he'd let you
It's
go.
like, you were going 30 over, sir. What? You 30 over, really?
Yeah. I really gotta pee. Actually, say you really have to poop because that's even worse. Because if you pee your
that's
pants,
true.
it's sorry, if you shit your pants, then that's
Yeah, at least you can smell it, right?
right.
Man, can you hear my dogs yet? Can you hear them up there? They're up there barking away right now.
Yeah, I hear a little bit.
All right, next up, we got the cheese printer.
Cheese. Well, listen, when they can print on anything now. I've seen
It's true.
cookies that have people's, for their birthday, cookies and cakes that have the birthday person's face on it, and and you don't need that.
Well, now they got like a meat printer. Have you seen that? It literally prints cuts of meat.
Really?
Uh-huh.
All right, I'll try it.
Yeah.
I'll eat anything.
I don't think it's out yet, but still, I mean, it's coming. Before you know it, you'll just have those little pouches you throw in the microwave, and it's a 3-course meal.
Yeah, like Willy Wonka's gum.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And you blow up like a blueberry.
I couldn't imagine taking a bite out of a Bob Levy slice of cheese, though.
Yeah, truthfully, it's delicious.
I imagine it tastes like cigarettes and beer.
He's I don't think he drinks beer anymore. He still drinks a little burbon. So it'd be bourbon and beer.
Bourbon, that's better than
and
beer,
blue
I
cheese
guess.
and blue cheese.
A blue cheese sandwich.
Yeah,
Delicious.
he was selling a hot sauce, Bob Levy's ass licking blue cheese.
I saw
sauce.
that.
And
Have you tried it?
Oh yeah. I designed the label, and so they sent me some.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm not a big blue cheese fan, so I haven't tried it.
Yeah, it's as a fine wine. There's a hint of blue cheese, but it's not overwhelming.
It's more like a Swiss swirl around and sniff kind of blue cheese.
It actually is really good. It's good on burgers and stuff.
Right, and Rob Saul has one too, right? That Bloody Mary mix.
Yes.
Same company, correct?
Silk City, and we were supposed to get a Uncle Rico one, which I think is still in the works.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What kind of flavor are you looking at?
I'm not sure yet. That's up to the guy. He the creator of the sauces, but I think it's going to be the Uncle Rico Show Boom sauce.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
That's something I need. I need more merch.
Merch is good. Merch is a pain in the ass to carry around, though. So
I hear it's not. It's a hassle to get set up.
Right. Yeah, and especially if you're selling T-shirts, that's they're heavy. There's a big box you got to bring, and that's a huge pain. If it's something small that doesn't take a lot of lugging around, it's not bad.
Right. I got a fellow podcaster out in Cali who he's like, man, I got tired of paying somebody else to do it. So I just bought a printer and now I just do it myself.
Really? Yeah. I
Yeah.
guess that's a good way to do it.
Mm-hmm. Cheaper, at least.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, Bathe and Brew, shower coffee maker, and soap dispenser.
I know a lot of people would love that. Yeah, I'm not a big coffee guy. I'll have it occasionally, but yeah,
I drink too
especially
much.
not while showering.
Yeah, I drink too much coffee. That's definitely a bit much for me. I don't think I can do it.
Get you started. I always do the Diet Mountain Dew in the morning.
Diet Mountain Dew.
Diet Mountain Dew.
Okay.
All
right.
Here's
I
my
thought that
secret
was
with
tea
a
at
splash
first.
of diet cherry soda in it, so it's there's a little more sweetness to it.
That's interesting mix. Sounds like something my kid would do.
I'm a connoisseur of shitty soda.
It sounds like something, the fountain drinks with the kids that go and they just do
Right.
a little bit of everything.
Oh, that's the best invention. There's like that. There's just penicillin, the wheel, and then that dispenser, because then you can make anything you want with it, man.
Right. There's you ever heard of Quick Trips gas station?
Yeah.
We got a lot of them here in Kansas City, and they have like lists of different like mixes you could do.
Mm-hmm. I like it. Hey, you know what?
They need
Mix and
to
match.
hire a bartender, just for the fountain drinks. What do you call them, mixologists? Yeah. What are you thinking today? What's your mood?
I'm a popologist. Do you call it pop out there, or is it?
Yeah, it's pop soda.
Yeah.
I mean, it's whatever. Ray DeVito could have used this in his home as a kid. It says I enjoy a morning coffee. Bathing not so much. For me, it's I drink like 6 cups a day. Honestly, I should probably drink more water. I just drink so much damn coffee.
Well, so you don't look especially wired.
No. I mean, I'm only on my first one though.
Okay.
After
Have you ever tried to go cold turkey?
I get migraines.
Really? Do you?
Yeah, I actually, even without the coffee, I get them. But now that I drink so much, if I go a day without it, I get headaches.
Yeah. My ex, she drank a lot of coffee, and she would always, I'm not sleeping well, and I have headaches. I go, well, stop drinking all the coffee. Oh, but then I'll get the migraines. Well, you know what? I don't know what to tell you.
I've got like 3 different prescription pills. There's like one if you feel a migraine coming on, one if you have an active migraine, and then one to help me sleep if I have a migraine.
Right. Wow. Okay. Now, did you get the migraines before the coffee, or is it?
Yeah, I've had them. I've had some pretty bad ones from even kid, to the point where it's like, I mean, you can't even open your eyes without the lighting just kind of messing with you.
Right.
I'd say worse than hangovers. Have you ever had a really bad bad hangover?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like that, but with somebody just sitting here with drills, and
right.
I mean, it happens every now and then. They'll last like 2 or 3 days sometimes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it sucks to be you, I guess.
Yeah. Well, when it happens. It happens.
Now, do you think the coffee helps keep the migraines away?
I would say so. I don't get them as frequent.
Okay.
But I should probably drink a lot more water.
Yes, I'm going to
go with
prescription for you.
Thanks. Yeah. I'm sure it'll pass.
Yeah. Take 5 Dasanis and call me in the morning.
I'll go to CVS. I think they'll allow it.
Yeah.
All right. You ready for the next one?
Sure.
All right. Earwax candle kit. Create a candle as unique as yourself.
Yeah. There's something about earwax that's kind of gross.
Well, I mean, and now they got so many like essential oils you could buy. You just mix it into the wax, make whatever scent you want.
That's true. Yeah. Well, Gwyneth Paltrow has her vagina candle. She could do an earwax candle too. I'll have the whole set. The booger candle.
I had no interest in buying the Gwyneth Paltrow vagina candle.
I tried, but it said it just wanted to be friends. That's talk about rejection.
Right, man. I mean, I guess if you lit it up and let it melt a little bit, it might be a little sensual.
Well,
a little wax. I read there's a book called Ghost by Chuck Palahniuk. Have you heard of it?
Yeah.
Have you read it?
I have not.
There's this a bit where this guy is in the military and he's sending a note to his brother about a tradition that they do in the Middle East. I don't know where at. Where they take a metal rod and shove it down their pee hole when they're ejaculating. And the kid takes the dripped wax that hardened on the side and sticks it in there to do his business, and he can't get off. And he ends up going
because he has that in
the
his
wax.
dick.
Yes, the wax melted and went into his dick.
Oh, all right, I gotta go.
I told you this is an explicit show. You can say whatever you want.
Yeah.
That is rough.
Well,
though.
just because you can doesn't mean you should.
That is pretty terrifying, though. Just the idea. I mean, he deserves it. I mean, I don't know why the fuck you would put wax in your dick.
Yeah. You know, ejaculating feels good enough. You don't need enhancing. Yeah.
I mean, you know, you got the bondage and stuff like that out there too. So you know, whatever your kink is, but I mean, candle wax.
Yeah, up your dick. I think is the word. It's not candle wax. It's in your dick.
I'm curious if the kid. It doesn't ever say the age of the kid or if he's still with the parents. But if I was the parent of that child, I would probably refuse to take him to the doctor. He'd have to go by himself.
That's right. Or you just light his dick and have a nice romantic dinner.
Would earwax burn? I'm not sure.
I don't know. It's a good question.
I don't even know if it would hold a wick, to be honest. Oh man, do you like candles? Do you use candles around your house?
I do not. Only when there's a power outage.
We have quite a few different ones around the house. But.
Well, I'm sure women like candles. That's in fact, even your background, there's candles in your little fake background.
No, it's a fake. This is not fake, sir.
No, that's
it's a vintage lounge, man. You got a little candle. What do you call those? Chandeliers?
Yeah, that's beautiful. No,
just trying to set the stage.
Yeah, when you're married or live with a woman, there's a lot of candles and a lot of pillows.
Right. Yeah. I used to use when I was alone and I lived in an apartment. I would just use those incense sticks.
Right.
And now I can't stand because it's like that smokiness. You can kind of it sits in the air even after you burn it.
Yeah.
Goddamn, getting older.
Candles. There's pillows. Trying to think of what else when you have a woman living with you that you wouldn't have otherwise.
You mentioned pillows. Oh my god.
No dust when there's a woman. When you're a guy living alone, there's a lot of dust. It's like, I'll get to this one of these days.
That's why you just keep the rooms really dark. Right. And then when people come over, they have no idea.
Right. And when you do see like a table full of dust, you just go, okay, that's good enough. It's on the floor now. Nobody can see it. It's all
right. You got a little rug, just kind of scoot it underneath your foot.
Yeah. That's why you get a dust-colored rug. That way blends right in.
That's right. Well, for me, with all the animals, we just do hardwood floor.
There you go. Well, it's impossible. God, I can't imagine the hair. This from you. Never mind that.
I burn mandals, masculine candles.
No such thing. Sorry.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it, Bobby. That just makes me think of like a Bob Levy out in his front lawn, just throwing some oil on himself and rubbing himself down.
Gina, help me rub my back with oil.
Oh man, yeah, he's a hoot, man. He will let anybody talk to him too, because he's always got a comeback.
Oh yeah, yep. Bob's funny, man. I've known him probably almost as long as I've been doing comedy. I think some of my first jobs were out in Staten Island with Bob. He lived out there at the time, and he's always been a maniac.
Did you know him prior to you being a comic?
No. So after I started, I don't even remember how we kind of hooked up together. I think he was booking a couple rooms out in Staten Island, and somebody probably recommended me, and I went out, and we've been friends ever since.
Yeah, he seems like a really nice guy, man. I had him on once, and actually, when I first had him on, I had a real shitty like $35 mic set, and I sounded super tinny. And I remember before we even went live, he was like, "Man, you sound terrible," and all this. He's like, let's just do it anyways." But yeah, now he's got like 5 different podcasts and all this stuff, so I haven't had him on in a while. But whatever.
Yeah, I mean, as many as I do, and most of them are with him. He does like 4 or 5 other ones, even more than that a week. He probably does another 10 a week. So
that's a lot. And I work at, well, I'm not going to say where I work, but I work at a retail store. I'm a manager.
okay.
Well, it's similar to Sam's Club, but it's not Sam's Club. It's better. I'm sure you can probably put
Samuel's Club.
Yeah. And I'm a salary manager. I work probably 55, 60-hour weeks, and then this is something. This is my guy's night out right here, just early in the morning. So,
oh yeah, when you have kids and animals and a wife, there's not a lot of late night fun to be had.
I had Larry Hankin on recently, and that was a night show. It was like 2 hours long. You know who Larry Hankin is?
Yeah, he was. It was the neighbor in Friends, and
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. He's a taxi driver.
And wasn't he the Bizarro or the Kramer, the Bizarro Kramer, whatever it was?
He's a good guy. He's funny as hell. Actually, Bobby Fran was on there with me, and he loves to talk, man. Loves to talk. He just, but yeah, hell of a time, man. You ready for the next one?
Sure.
All right. I try to burn through them and keep the conversation, as random as possible. So,
and you're doing a fine job on the randomness.
Good. That's the whole point. I don't want you to, expect me to be saying a certain thing.
Right.
All right. Next up, we got the fart filter.
Okay.
Personal flatulence plug. Emphasis on the word plug here, because that dude's smile is a bit concerning to me.
So now what would I guess it makes it smell good. It said tulips and daffodils.
Yes,
I see over there. All right.
12 cents.
12 cents. Okay. All right. Well, listen, I could probably use that if it wasn't had to be inserted. I think it would like an underwear filter would be better.
See, that's what I was thinking. More like a filter.
Yeah.
Have you seen that the poopery?
Oh yeah.
Just drop it in the toilet and it catches the scent.
That's what they say. Yeah.
I've yet to try it. I definitely don't want to insert anything to.
No.
That sounds like a pain in the ass to me, literally.
Well, I know a few people who would enjoy that.
Oh, this day, I mean, they're pretty much right next door.
Right. And they'd be like, "Oh, and it helps the fart smell better too." Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. It's just a daily usage.
That's a plus. Yeah.
Out and about, just have a little plug in.
Well, it's better than inserting wax into your dick. That's
yeah. I mean, based on let me put this back up here. I mean, you can see the illustration up top there. I mean, next to the fart. It's not very big. At least it's not very big.
Right. Again, some people might not find that to be a plus. Do you have these in extra large, please?
Yeah. We're gonna need multiple sizes.
I need
here.
the Magnum size.
Oh man! Now you're making me want to leave the show.
My
I'm
work is
extremely uncomfortable. I am curious. Are you somebody who admits when you fart, or do you let people assume it's somebody else?
Don't fart.
No, people don't do that. It's not a thing.
I don't fart. Yeah. What am I, an animal?
My actually, it's funny because I always call it out when I do it, and my wife hates it. She's like, "Oh my god, why are you telling me?"
No, I try not to do it around people that I like. I have pretty good sphincter control.
It's a healthy thing, man. It's all right. as long as you're not clearing rooms.
Right. Although my son thinks it's hilarious. What I would start to do is go up to him and I'd say, "Pull my finger," and before I finished saying it, I would fart. And he thought that was the funniest thing in the world. That it was like, "Pull my finger," and he's like,
I wish I could control it to that extent.
I'll tell you, sphincter control.
It's a thing, man.
Yeah.
You do a couple Kegels every day, and you'll be a pro at it.
Yeah, I wish there was some Olympic sport, Olympic competition. I might take hold in the gold.
Do you think that would have to be restricted to a straight male?
No, see, that's the good thing about it. You could be any, it doesn't matter the sex or your gender identity. Sphincter is a sphincter, my friend, and it's an even playing field.
Well, I feel like, and this is no slam on you guys, but if you were a homosexual male and you had a lot of sexual intercourse, you'd probably have a one up on us straight guys in a competition like that.
Though I would beg to differ. I would say that they would probably be a little looser back there, had less sphincter control, since they've had a lot
Okay.
of various sized implements and
Fart incense.
yeah, yeah. And one good fisting, and he's out of the competition for good. So you're not gonna
That's
not gonna
that's
be
a very fair point. I
not
did
gonna
not
be
think
any
of it that way.
control. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Probably
guess
the
it would.
first time I've ever said one good fisting, by the way.
Oh, good, man. Anything that's new on here that I can get out of you is fantastic. And the laughs help. If I can make a comedian laugh, then I know I'm on the right track.
Right, exactly.
All right, next up, we got the Technic hands-free device collar. I can keep your hands to yourself.
Yeah, look at that. Okay, well, it's almost like a selfie stick, really.
Yeah, it almost looks like they took a neck brace and just attached something to it. Made a little padding on it.
Yeah.
Except I don't get why she's on a phone with a phone in front of her.
Yeah, that's a little odd. Well, it's almost like a GoPro, right? The GoPro has the thing that hangs in front. You wear the helmet, so
Yeah,
so
that's
this-
true. Except
yeah.
it's like a hat. It's on your helmet. It's not,
Yeah. But
strapped.
then they have
around
it.
your
But they
neck.
do. But they do have. Yeah. But they have it hanging out in front
Mhm.
of you. So it's. I reject that fake product because it's too close to the GoPro.
Yeah, you guys definitely stole that idea.
Yeah.
Made it a little more simple.
Right.
Put a little more effort into it.
Yeah. Come on. Come
um, with that being said, it is crazy how many kids I see driving that are like groups of teenagers that are like
on.
doing dances clearly for TikTok or
Mhm.
whatever on the streets now. And it's like, man, when I was like 13, 14, I was out riding a bike, playing in the woods, hurting myself,
Yeah, but you were doing stupid stuff too. I mean, every generation has the stuff they do that's like really dumb, and you look back and you forget that dumb stuff, and you see the new dumb stuff. Those stupid kids. I know. I'm trying to think. When I was a kid, we would do dumb things, but besides the basic playing sports or riding bikes, there was like dummy time wasters like that, and every generation has it. But when you get old, you're like, oh, those kids are idiots.
That's how you know you're maturing, when you're starting to not like the stupid shit that teenagers and kids are doing.
See, I'm so immature. I'm like, hey, that's cool. I'll do a TikTok dance. I don't care.
Do you do TikTok dances?
I do not do TikTok dance. Nobody wants to see me dance. You'd rather have me pull my finger than watch me do a TikTok dance.
So dad jokes, basically, is what you're saying.
Yes, exactly.
How old are your kids?
My son is 18 and my daughter's 22. So
Okay, all right.
yeah, so
You
they're
definitely don't look that old to have a kid that age or
thank
kids
you.
that age.
I'm 61 years young, and yeah, old as shit. And
So I honestly was thinking like low 40s.
Oh, well, thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I take care of myself. I drink Diet Mountain Dew
Diet
every
Mountain Dew,
morning.
yeah.
Diet Mountain
Are you
Dew.
sponsored by Diet Mountain Dew?
You too can look young with Diet Mountain Dew.
They definitely don't advertise the youth part of it.
Well, it's do the do, and this is why I do the do.
Maybe I need to lay off the coffee and have more Diet Dew.
But yeah, so my kids are grown, and my son's graduating high school, but my daughter's grown and out of the house, so it's yeah, it's a little different dynamic. You'll get there someday.
Yeah, eventually. I mean, I'm 34, so 34 years old.
So you got a ways to go before the kids are out, and all the animals are dead except for the tortoises.
Yeah,
and
they'll still be young when I'm dying.
Right. Wow, that's 3 of them too. That's
they're about this big. I mean, they're really not big right now, but
right.
yeah, I mean, by the time they're 20-something years old, they'll be like this.
Hey, what are you going to do with them?
I don't know. I told my wife. So it's funny. The reason we ended up with 3, she wanted to get 1, and she messaged some dude in Arizona, and then he got back to her a few days later. But then she also messaged somebody in Florida, And the one in Florida responded immediately, so she
Right.
bought it. It was a little more expensive, but we got it.
Right.
And then the guy from Arizona messaged back. He's like, "I'm sorry, we already got one." And he goes, "Hey, if you buy one, I'll throw in something extra for you." He didn't say it was going to be a tortoise.
You're thinking, hey, a blender, that'd be great.
So I was thinking, a habitat or
Right.
something, some food,
Right.
not a whole nother damn tortoise.
Right.
I told her, I was like, we can't have these things sliding around our hardwood floor in 20 years. So we got to move out of Kansas at some point, go somewhere a little bit warmer, so you can have the backyard or something.
No, I think you should do is like in 30 years when they're really big, and just set them free in Kansas City. So all of a sudden, like, there's sightings of these huge tortoises. Where the fuck did they come from? Be on the news every night.
Let them loose on a main street.
Yeah. It's like turtle invasion, tortoise invasion.
Not the interstate, because I feel like that would just be a mess for everybody.
Yeah.
But at least a main street, people have time to respond.
Right.
I don't know. I definitely wouldn't be scared though. They're not really a terrifying thing. It would just be like, where the fuck did that tortoise come from?
Yeah. It would just be weird. It's like all of a sudden, there's no tortoises in Kansas City. Now there's a herd of tortoises on Main Street.
If I do it, I think I would have to paint them up like the Ninja Turtles.
There you go. Put little masks on them. And you don't know. You have an Arizona tortoise, and you have two Arizona tortoise and a Florida tortoise. You don't know if they mate. Maybe some sort of like super tortoise comes out of it. You don't know what kind of strains, DNA.
If we end up with some weird inbred litter of tortoises, that would be interesting.
They start asking for pizza, then there's something weird.
Start going from the lettuce to the pepperoni.
Right. Saying cowabunga a lot.
You ready for the next one, man?
Absolutely.
All right, here we go. Auto sauna. Enjoy open pores on the road.
Oh, well, that's just if it's summer and your air conditioning isn't working.
Nothing better than a steam-filled car.
Oof. When I bought my new, now it's 6 years old, but when I bought my car, I bought it in like September. And so I didn't need the air conditioner was already getting cooler. And so then the next spring I go to put the air conditioner on. I'm like, wow, this thing doesn't work well. And I went for a couple months and it was like working less and less. And by the time July hit, it was not working at all. So I'm driving around like that, like a sauna. So I finally bring it in and like, oh, this was recalled. Oh, well, thanks for telling me. Thank you.
Well, at least it was recalled and not on your end.
Yeah. But yes, there's nothing worse than no AC. And listen, young man, when I was your age, that's the way we had to live. There was no air conditioning in cars.
Can I call you Pops for the rest of the show?
Not like you, spoiled brats.
I have actually had, and especially here in Kansas City. I don't know if you were out here in the summertime.
Yeah, it was hot.
110 degrees sometimes. And that's not heat index. That's just like you step outside and you're in somebody's mouth.
Right.
Right. Just drenched in sweat right off the bat. And I've had cars where there was no AC, and it didn't matter if you rolled down the windows because it didn't help.
Yeah, no, that little air hitting you does nothing. It's, like, it's hot air hitting you. It's all great.
You end up with what is it, windburn and sunburn at the same time?
Right.
I've not had that happen yet, but it's very possible if I stay around here. Have you ever gotten sunburnt?
Oh yeah. When I was a kid, I was not good at. I'll probably have drastic skin cancer in a few years. But when I was a kid, I used to get a lot of sunburn because I would be at the beach all the time and not properly oil up. Yeah. So
being a ginger, I fry. There's no tanning. I just get burnt. It peels off, and I'm whiter than I was before.
It's like you're molting. Yeah.
So usually, if I do yard work or anything, I mean, I'm out there in the 100 degrees, but I'm wearing like a long sleeve shirt because I'm like, I mean, even suntan lotion, it don't matter if it's 5,000 SPF, it doesn't do shit for me.
That's how you can always tell a ginger, even if you can't see their hair. They're dressed like a beekeeper. They have the big hat on. They can't see anything, and their long sleeves and their gloves. And
hey, at least I'm not allergic to the sun. Yeah, I've seen like documentaries and stuff, or heard of people that have an allergic
Yeah,
reaction
they're
to
called
UV light.
vampires. Yeah.
Yeah, Dracula. I don't know if
Yeah,
you've heard of him.
Nosferatu, kind of well known.
But at least I could go out and enjoy the daylight.
Mhm. Yeah, I remember when I was a kid, the fun thing was to peel, see how far you could peel the sunburn. You get a whole
Yes.
patch. It's like, yeah, look at
And
that.
show it to people.
Right. You roll it up and throw it.
The big thing around here, at least for me, I don't really do it with my kids, but the fireflies,
Mhm.
we'd catch them and we'd smear the bulbs on us.
Okay, well, that's a little bit of a serial killer action, but that's all right.
Run around. Hey, look, I'm glowing.
Yeah, how'd you know something was wrong? Well, when he was 8 years old, he would kill bugs and smear them on his stuff.
Hey, Mom, look at me.
Oh, we had not done that here. I would now I want to do it, kind of.
Yeah. There's plenty of fireflies, man. It's fine. As a kid, it's better than I had some nephews. We were camping and they're young, and I woke up one morning and they'd been up and they were out by the lake dissecting frogs.
Ooh.
8, 10, 11 years old. Yeah.
Wow.
Just out there dissecting frogs. I thought it was the coolest thing in the world.
It's a little disturbing. Yeah.
That's a bit much.
Yeah.
If you're a 6th, 7th grade science class, okay.
Right. Or the fetal pig. Remember the fetal pig? That was the big one.
Yeah, I never did the fetal pig. We did
No.
we did the frogs, and we did a cow tongue.
Oh, okay.
That's
It's good
Midwest
eating.
for you.
Yeah,
Yeah. I can't say I've had cow tongue. Have you had cow tongue?
I've seen it, sold in supermarkets as food, but no, because it's a tongue. Just like,
What's the weirdest thing that you've eaten?
yeah. Let's think here. I think I've had rattlesnake. That was escargot, snails. Bear. I've had
Snails.
bear. Yeah. I was in France, and you got to have the escargot in
Oh,
France.
man, that just sounds terrible to me.
It's very garlicky. They douse it in garlic and all this other stuff, so it's a little squishy, but it tastes like garlic. So
Okay, all right. See,
bear.
Bear sounds interesting.
Yeah. It was a little gamey, little berry, if you will.
Like more than a deer.
Yeah. It was very marinated. It was like super marinated. So it was. Yeah, I mean, it was okay.
I can't do lamb. Lamb to me is too gamey. It's a weird gamey. It's not like a deer or I imagine a bear kind of gamey. It's got a weird taste to me.
Yeah. Trying to think what else. No, that's probably the weirdest.
Yeah. See, for me, I think the weirdest would be like I've had an alligator tail.
Okay. No, I've had alligator too down when I was down in Florida. Yeah.
Frog legs are definitely not bad. Actually, I've had those. They do actually taste like chicken.
Right.
That is one thing I could say. It definitely tastes like chicken.
Yeah. I never had the Rocky Mountain oysters. That
Yeah, not my cup of tea.
No.
Or do. All right, you ready for the next? Are you into board games? Did you ever play board games with your kids?
No. They grew up with the video games. My son, by the time he was 5 years old, he was kicking my ass in every video game because it's like, what are you doing?
See, and for me, it was a Nintendo. Like when the regular Nintendo and then the Super Nintendo came out about when I first started playing. So Donkey Kong, Dig Dug, Boulder Dash, stuff like that.
I see. You kids had it good. Here's what the first video games I played. Here it was. Boop. Boop. Boop.
It eventually sped up though. If you're good at it, it sped up.
Yeah. Not that fast though. It was Pong. That was it. Pong.
That's hilarious. This next one is spit and slide. Race to the drool pool.
There you go.
Ages 4 and up.
I think Stuttering John would be good at that. He's an
interesting fellow.
Interesting. Well, that's one of the podcasts we do, Uncle Rico Show, is we break down all of Stuttering John's videos, and he's always drooling and spitting and all.
Yeah, I don't get it. How do people have so much saliva? That's just insane.
Yeah, he forgets to swallow, I guess. It's
loved Pong as a kid, and even now as a stone adult. Now they got like all sorts of Brick Breaker and all this like on your phones.
Right.
So you don't really need the old school stuff.
No, they do sell, some of the old like arcade, small versions of the old arcade games and stuff that you can play if you're nostalgic.
Mm-hmm.
I was never big into the video games, but
yeah, and anymore I'm not. And it's I actually work with plenty of people who are even at my age and older, and I'm like, how do you invest so many hours into video games?
Well, because they don't have 700 animals at their house, and
I could do it. My kid loves Fortnite and sport games and shit, but he plays them on the PS4, and he's always on there yelling at other kids.
Right. Yeah.
And I used to think, man, who would want to sit there and just yell at other people on the thing? And I'm like, man, well, I'm a podcaster. It's not a whole lot different.
Yeah. It's a little less skill level to doing this than
yes, it's true.
Than what your son does.
There's not really much competition in this one. It's just hey, you either like me or you jump off the show midair.
Yeah. Oh, gotta go.
I have yet to have that happen. I did have a flat earther on.
Really?
Yeah. His name's David Weiss. He's like the main guy, the main representative for the Flat Earth Society. And I had to go through. I had to go on his Instagram, go to his website, and fill out a form, and then wait for a response. And the form was like, "Do you believe it? Are you open to the idea of it?" And all these just random questions. And I'm like, realistically, I'm like, no, I definitely don't fucking believe the earth is flat. But I played along. He came on, and I had like 4 other podcasters join the show. And I was like, I told him ahead of time, I'm like, we are going to give you a hard time. I'm just letting you know we're going to give you a hard time. And he attempted to reply to all of our questions, but it was more of like a scenario based. There was no proof.
Right.
And so we were obviously giving him some backlash, and man, I'll tell you what, that thing blew up to like 3,200 views in like 2 days. Wow. And the comments of people just being assholes to us. Like, hey, we told the guy that we were going to give him a hard time. Right. You guys are the ones being dicks.
That kind of stuff is amazing. It's like, wow, what brings you to believe stuff like that?
And his story was like, he's like, I was, high up corporate office job, and when I realized that the earth was flat and I wanted to pursue it, I'm like, man, you really went down a rabbit hole here. I mean, that's
when you just let's see, today I gotta finish that spreadsheet, and then when I get home I gotta go pick up the prime rib for dinner, and earth is flat. Yep. Yeah. Why didn't I think of that before?
I'm gonna go take my private jet, go check, see if that ice wall is still there in Antarctica.
Yeah. Wow. There's a lot of weird theories out there with the lizard people.
And I'm all for it. But there's a point where you've gone too far. To dabble in it and look at it is cool. But when you're like mindset, like, nope, that's it. And this is my calling. I need to go for this conspiracy.
Yeah.
You should probably start questioning your life choices at that point.
Yeah. What people don't realize is most conspiracy theories are just total crap, just because human beings are just too dumb and lazy to follow through and do a good conspiracy. Somebody's going to talk or something's going to fuck up. And thank you, Bobby. Yes,
that's 100% correct. People who can't deal with reality create their own. That's 100% true. And my biggest thing is with the technology we have now, blurred videos out the window.
Right.
If you aren't freaking out when you're recording, no, ain't real. Yes. The way mentally that you would react to certain conspiracies, if you actually found some hard evidence, is not going to be like, oh, look at this. Right. You would be freaking the fuck out.
Right. Yep. It's like, that's why I don't believe in ghosts. When I was on the road, back in the day when I was on the road all the time, you're staying in these weird little places, and they go, oh, that room there is haunted. I'll stay in that one. I would always volunteer to stay in the haunted room. Never saw anything.
I believe in that. I believe in it, but not to the extreme that people take it.
There's no such thing as ghosts.
What about aliens? Do you think aliens exist?
There are, well, not here on Earth, but
Well, yeah.
I'm sure there's life forms other places.
Hey, we have plenty of aliens here taking our jobs.
Yeah,
But
I mean, if there were aliens, they would not be hiding. They would just go, look, we're so advanced. We got here. We're not going to hide from you people.
No, I actually have told people on my show that if they do exist, if they were going to invade us, it would have happened already. Right. But realistically, I think we're too dumb for them, and they don't give a shit about us.
Yeah, who cares? If they could get here, they're obviously so much more advanced. They would give a crap about us. Come on.
All right, I got one more before we wrap up the show.
Okay.
You cool with that?
Yes.
Hopefully, I'm not irritating you or annoying you here.
Too late. No, go ahead.
The pet petter. Never touch your pets again. This
that's
one
for
that
you.
I need.
Yeah.
Yes, I had to end with this one because, man, I could definitely talk about this one for a few minutes. One thing I have not told you is I'm allergic to dogs.
Oh my God.
I have to take medicine. I love them. I just, but if I play with them too much or pet them too much, my eyes swell shut damn near and I just can't breathe.
Wow. Well,
so pet petter right there, man. That's great. I'll take 5.
You get those migraines. Well, it could be that you're killing yourself with dog.
I've always had dogs. Okay. Not until I got married.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Yeah. When you get married, a lot of things change. And
yeah.
All right, you're on to me.
You're right. You actually are best friends with David Weiss, aren't you?
Yeah, me and Dave always hang at the end of the earth.
Hanging out at the end of the earth, man. Oh, dude, it's funny because we talked about aliens there for a second. His idea is the puddle theory. Have you heard of this puddle theory? No. So we're on a disc. But beyond Antarctica, so you got this ice wall in Antarctica that the government covers, so nobody can get past it. Is more water and more islands of land, and the aliens that we see or that visit us are past the wall. They're just things that we haven't seen that are past the wall. It's not really from another planet because the sky doesn't exist. It's all fake. It's just a whole government setup. We are all in the Truman Show. I just want to let you guys know that.
Wow.
The depths, man. I mean, he did. I have to give him credit. I mean, he definitely dove into a lot of the topics, but and he had some sort of snazzy scenario for you. But
yeah, I've talked to people where you meet them and you don't know them well, and in the conversation something like that comes up, and you thought they were normal up to then, and all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, and JFK's still alive," and okay, gotta go. Look at
whoa, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you do a lot of stand up. I imagine after shows, you bullshitting with people, and then somebody throws something weird at you, and you're just like, "Oh, that guy."
So they're like aliens because it's like you thought they were normal, but then it's like, "Whoa, you are nuts."
And it's not even a question of how you were raised as a kid. It's just you're fucking weird, man.
Yeah, everybody's weird. Some are weirder than others.
We all have our things, but conspiracy theories and doomsday preppers. Yeah. I'll just avoid you for now. I'll watch from a distance and laugh at you.
Exactly.
Well, Mike, man, we're hitting that hour mark. I really appreciate you coming on today, man.
Oh, thank you. I had a fun time.
Good. And I do these shows pretty much whenever I feel like it. Early morning. So if you ever want to do them, feel free to let me know.
Absolutely. Thank you, man.
Yeah, of course. And I will, everybody check out Mike Morse on the Uncle Rico show. Also the Shuley Network.
The Shuley Network on YouTube. Show.
Yeah. Is that the only, you guys don't distribute to other platforms, do you?
No, we're on just YouTube, and then you can also go through Patreon. But we're on YouTube, the Shuley Show.
Awesome, man. Hey, and to everybody, Bobby, My Lost Interest, Stormy, hey, thank you guys for tuning in. And to everybody else, until next time, we'll see you around.